What's going on, guys? Dig here, ready to teach you how to do the Ashes of the Dam Easter egg, and yes, you can do it solo. I do all the testing so you don't have to, so I hope you guys sit back and enjoy the Easter egg. Let's get into it. Now, the couple that you're going to want to bring for the blue rarity, you're going to want to bring Shields Up, Cashback, Aftertaste, Anywhere But Here, and Power Keg. For the boss fight, if you're playing with multiple players, you're going to want to bring Near Death, Aftertaste, Phoenix Up, On the House, and Soda Fountain. Obviously, the first three couple that I listed are going to be the ones you're going to want to bring into the boss fight. Now, for the boss fight, I highly recommend somebody having the wonder weapon of the map into the boss fight, because there's a way to get a free max ammo and a free armor up in the boss fight as well. The weapons I highly recommend for people to bring in, it's going to be the Maverick Assault Rifle, and it's going to be the Exxon Ion Sniper Rifle. That's going to be located in the Ascension. Now, if you're playing in solo, I highly recommend bringing an Ether Shroud to the boss fight, and if you're playing with multiple players, I highly recommend everybody having Healing Aura for the boss fight. Now, during the Easter egg, you're going to have to use a stun, you're going to have to use a Molotov, and a Tomahawk for the Easter egg steps, so I highly recommend bringing in one of those that I just listed. But I would like to also say there are free ones around the map, and I'll show you where they are, and do not pick them up until I tell you to. Now, as soon as you spawn into the map, go ahead and go to the orange star, go ahead and purchase the door, and melee the ground. Pick up Ted's head, go to the truck, and build the truck. Now, as soon as you enter the truck, go ahead and go down the hill to the left side and follow the orange star to the lake. Once you arrive to the lake, you're going to find this pot over here, and you're going to shoot all the orange spores. Once you shoot off all the spores, you can go ahead and go flip the lever up the upstairs inside the lake house. Let's turn on the power in this location. Now, head downstairs into the kitchen to the left side. Inside the cupboard, you're going to find this glass jar. Go ahead and pick that up. Now, head back to the truck and go ahead and follow the orange stars all the way to Ashwood. Once you arrive to Ashwood, go up to the zip line to your left side, and then go to the pump. Go ahead and remove all the spores on the pump, and go ahead and flip the second power switch. Once you flip the power switch, go ahead and put the TESI inside the garage and go to the bench and upgrade it. Once you upgrade it, Pack-a-Punch is available on the back side of the truck. Now, go ahead and hop back inside the truck and go up the hill to your right side. And then now we're going to go back to the farm area, and we're going to go shoot the pump at the farm, and then we're going to take off the spores and then go up inside the barn and flip the last power switch, thus turning on the power for the entire map. Now, while you're still at the barn, go ahead and go outside the area over here to the left side, and you'll find a horse on the ground. Go ahead and interact with it to place shrooms on it, and then come back here 3 rounds later to pick up the shrooms, but we're going to do a few other things while we wait. Now, while you're at the farm, if you haven't went to a dog round yet, if a dog round starts, go ahead and activate the trap, and the first Ravager that gets taken out by the trap, you can pick up its eyeballs. There are going to be traps located in the farm and Ashwood up the stairs to the right side over here, and there's going to be one located in the diner as well. Depending where you're at, you can take them out with any of those traps. Now, head back to Ashwood, and you're going to go ahead and teleport the truck to you, or you could drive it over here. What you're going to do now is going to head up the ramp to the right side and head to the diner. Once you make it to the diner, you're going to open up the door, and you're going to end the round. Once you progress through one round, after you have Pack-a-Punch and the power turned on, you're going to find a cook that's going to spawn in, and he's going to drop you a key. Once he drops you that key, go ahead and go to the back right area, and you'll find a fridge over here. Go ahead and open it up with the key, and go ahead and pick up the Margo head. Now, if you haven't picked up the Tomahawk inside the kitchen, go ahead and pick that up. Go ahead and go back to Ashwood. You can drive here, or you can teleport the truck over here if you're too lazy to drive it down here. Go ahead and upgrade the truck by going up to the crafting table and upgrade it. Now, once you upgrade the TESI, go ahead and go to the farm and go inside the barn. Right in the middle, you're going to find a zombie hanging up. Go ahead and throw a Tomahawk at its right leg to chop it down, and then go back to Ashwood on the left side of the barrel in front of the garage. You're going to pick up a Molotov. Go back to the barn and then lay down in front of the foot and throw a Molotov on it. Sometimes the hitbox is funky, so you might have to do this a few times to burn the foot. Once the foot is completely burned, you're going to go ahead and pick that up. Now, you need to take the truck to the different fog lane areas that are connected to the other POIs, and you're going to find these purple pods scattered around the map. There's only going to be 3 that spawn in the entire map. Sometimes they spawn outside of the map where you can't hit it with a truck, so I highly recommend moving on to the next location if you can find another one. You only need to find one. Once you find one, all you got to do is shock it and then pick up the crunch that spawns on the ground. Also, a big, huge tip, when you get in the higher rounds, if you destroy these later on, you can get really good rewards from them as well, so keep that in mind. Now, go ahead and take the truck to Ascension. We're going to leave this here for a later step of the Easter egg. Go to the right, go ahead and purchase Wisp Tea. Go ahead and go back to the Ashwood, and over here to the right side, you're going to find a mirror. All you got to do is get Wisp Tea activated, and then it'll fly inside the mirror, thus revealing the mirror. Now, it should have been about 3 rounds already. Go ahead and go back to the farm and go pick up the mushroom on top of the horse for the next serum. Now, at round 8, go ahead and go back to spawn over here to the left side. A Panzer KLAUS will spawn in from this pod. Go ahead and take him out and pick up the hard drive that he drops on the ground. Now, go ahead and go back to Ashwood and go past Voltorade on the left side, and you're going to go inside this room. You're going to find KLAUS inside this cage, and what you're going to do is you're going to put the chip inside the door, and you're going to wait till it says required restart for your update. Once it says that, you're going to go 2 concussions behind his backside. That will activate him. You'll know when he gets activated when you see the stars over his head. Now, a lot of people say this step is finicky, but you have to just throw 2 concussions on his backside to get him to wake up. Now, once KLAUS spawns in, go ahead and hurry up and go to Ascension, because this is going to be time. Go ahead and drop down these stairs, and over here to the right side, you're going to find this panel. Go ahead and call KLAUS to this panel, and he's going to stomp on it. Once he stomps on it, go ahead and interact with it and stand inside the red circle. Only the person that interact with this has to stand inside the red circle to bring up the meter. If you leave the circle and you go somewhere else, you will fail this step, and you're going to have to end the round to restart the step all over again. Also, if you use Ether Shroud inside the circle, it doesn't bring the meter up. Also, if somebody else is standing inside the circle at the same time with you, it does not bring the meter up as well. But once you get the meter fully charged, go ahead and pick up the tube and go to the truck and hop inside of it. Once you hop inside the truck, go ahead and go to Ashwood and go to the top floor and go ahead and place it inside the tube. Once you place it inside the tube, go ahead and just wait for it to charge up. You don't have to get any zombie kills, just wait wait for it to charge up. Once it charges up, go ahead and pick it up and go hop in the truck once again. Now you're gonna go up the lane to the left side and head to the lake. Once you get to the lake, go ahead and place it inside this tube and go ahead and wait for it to charge up. Once it charges up, go ahead and pick it up once again and go ahead and go to the farm. Once you get to the farm, go ahead and place it in this last tube and go ahead and pick it up once it's fully charged. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring it down to the basement. Once you bring it inside the basement, place it inside the cube right here. And now you're gonna go outside the farm and you're gonna take the jump pad to spawn. Once you take the jump pad to spawn, you go ahead and look down at the ground on top of the roofs of the barn, the silo, and the house, and you're gonna write down these symbols. Also, one thing to keep in mind, if you can't see the symbols that well, you can pause your game mid-air to see your symbols even better if you like to as well. Also, taking the jump pad from spawn to the farm makes it a lot easier to see the one on the barn. Go ahead and write down the symbols that you have in your game, and you're gonna go down inside where the cube is. Once you're inside the cellar, go ahead and interact with the cube on all three sides, and go ahead and get your symbols to appear on the cube. Once you get your symbols that spawn in your game on the cube, go ahead and interact with the front side, and then you go ahead and pick up the wonder weapon. Now you're gonna be in a lockdown. And once you're inside this lockdown, you're gonna see a bunch of green orbs spawn around the area. What you're gonna do is you're gonna shoot the green orbs and then click your reload button to retrieve the green orbs. Once you retrieve enough green orbs, you go ahead and you finish the lockdown and you have unlocked a wonder weapon for the map. Now go ahead and go to Ashwood and you're gonna go to that mirror that you activated earlier and you're gonna shoot it with your wonder weapon, thus pick up the powder off the ground. That is another serum that we needed for the Easter egg. And we gotta get one more serum, and that's gonna be the bear serum. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I have done this Easter egg 10 times already solo, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I have never got the bear serum at all, and you definitely don't need it, but they might patch this in the future, so I'm gonna show you how to get the bear serum just in case. Now the way to get the bear serum is you're gonna have to take out the bear with the Tesla truck with the shock attack in the front of the hood. Once you take it out, you can go ahead and pick up the tentacle that it drops on the ground. Now if you really want to test it early, you can go to the lab at Ascension. As soon as you land, you go over here to the left side, you'll find a table. Go ahead and interact with the powder, and then a code will be on the back side of the wall. On the screen right now is a cheat sheet that I made for you guys, so you can literally match the codes to the object, and then you guys can just interact with the table. You're gonna read it from the top, middle, and the bottom, and that is the correct order that you want to interact with the objects. One thing I need you to keep in mind though is do not interact with the big bottle in the center unless you want to do a lockdown. Especially if you're on solo, it's gonna be really hard because you do not heal whoever interact with the bottle. So if you interact with the bottle and you go to this lockdown, you will not heal if you are the one that interact with that bottle. One thing I want you to keep in mind is you cannot initiate this step during a dog round. Also, I highly recommend pausing the game as well. Also, you can have your co-op teammate pause the game if they're the host, so you can read the code and match the ciphers to the objects. But as soon as you start the lockdown, all you gotta do is survive 1 minute and take out the zombies that spawn in, and then once you're done with that, you are ready for the next step of the Easter egg. And for the next step of the Easter egg, we're gonna have to find 3 different keys around the map, and only one spawn at a time once you collect one and when you put it away. These keys are gonna spawn in the fog area, and they're gonna spawn in the 3 specific fog areas, and each fog area has 3 different locations for these keys, and I'll give you all the locations for each individual key. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, these keys are very, very tiny. It's gonna be very hard to see. I'm gonna give you all the 3 locations. Hopefully that helps, but you might need a sniper rifle to see them. Look at this image right here. This is what they look like. They are very tiny. I'm telling you, they're a hard to spot. The first key location we're gonna be looking at is gonna be at the big giant boat. We're gonna go up this ramp. We're gonna take a left. We're gonna go straight forward to this crate. We're gonna crouch and we're gonna look at the bottom floor of this crate, and it's gonna be located right there. The second location is gonna be located to your right, going straight forward. It's gonna be located inside these barrier to the left side on top of this shelf. The third and final location is gonna be leaving this, going straight forward, dropping down the ledge, and keep on running straight forward on the front side of the boat on the ground, right in between these 2 barrels. The second fog location is gonna be located where the T-Rex heads are located. It's gonna be located to the left side over here by this T-Rex head, to the right side of his jaw right there. The second location is turning around and getting on top of the giant rock, and you're gonna be looking inside the T-Rex mouth on the bottom right side where his teeth would be. The third and final location is gonna be located all the way up towards the diner. It's gonna be located to the right side of these trucks right here. The third and final key location is gonna be located up the ramp that takes you up to Ascension. It's gonna be located on top of the cliff right here to the left side, and then going a little bit further up, it's gonna be located on the pylon over there to the left side, and then going all the way further up even more, it's gonna be located to the right side on top of the ceiling right there. Now I highly recommend once you find the key, you're gonna bring a truck over there, and then you're gonna shoot the key with your wonder weapon, and then you're gonna click reload button to pull the key towards you, and then you're gonna pick it up. Once you pick up the key, you go ahead and hop in the car, and you're gonna drive to Ashwood. Once you arrive to Ashwood, you're gonna go to the second floor, and you're gonna go over here to this cube and break the chain. It's gonna be right by the trap, and it's gonna be over there to the left side. Once you break the chain, you're gonna have to go find the other key. Like I said earlier, the keys only spawn 1 key at a time, so you're gonna have to look at all 3 locations until you find the key. Now the reason why you're gonna have the truck nearby is because the keys do special effects to you. The green one's gonna make you not be able to sprint, the yellow one's only gonna allow you to have a melee weapon out, and the red one will not allow you to heal. But once you place down all 3 keys on the cube, you're gonna get a cutscene, and we're on to the next step of the Easter egg. Now as soon as you spawn back in for the cutscene, go ahead and pick up the Tesla gun and then drop down. Go ahead and teleport to TESI to you, and then go ahead and go up to the upgrade bench and upgrade the Tesla gun. And once you upgrade the truck, go ahead and hop in it, and you're gonna drive it to the right side lane, and you're gonna stick it right here. Don't move it. You need to line up your Tesla gun towards that clock that's floating in the sky now. And once you got the Tesla gun lined up, go ahead and shoot the clock to freeze the time. Once you got the clock frozen, go ahead and shoot the water weapon at one of the faces, and then reload your weapon to bring back the bullet to turn you purple. Once you're purple, go ahead and go to Ascension, and once you get to Ascension, you're gonna see one of the radio towers spinning drastically technically. Go ahead and shoot it while you're purple to slow it down. Go ahead and rinse and repeat, get purple once again, and come back and then shoot the one over here to the right side to slow it down as well. As soon as you slow this down, go ahead and go inside this small room. Over here to the right side, you'll find 2 monitors. Go ahead and pause your game immediately, and you're going to use a cipher to figure out what your word is. On the screen right now is a cheat sheet for all these codes that it could possibly be for the letters. You're going to go ahead and write the letters that appear on the monitor, and there's going to be 6 in total. So once you get 6 letters in total, you have all the letters. Once you get your 6 letters, you're going to combine them together to form one word. If you can't figure it out, just ask ChatGPT to do it. Honestly, it's pretty simple and easy. The words that we have known so far, it's going to be rocket, weapon, launch, and engine. Now on your screen right now is a alphabetical order with a number tied to the letter. And so you're going to start at 0 for A, and then it's going to go up to 25 for Z. So you're going to look at your letters that you have, and you're going to look at the number that goes with that letter. And then you're going to go to the monitors that are inside the same room. And from left to right, you're going to spell your word with your numbers. So in my game, my word was weapon. So for the first number I'm going to do is 22 because the W is 22. Also, here's another cheat sheet I made for you guys. So if you guys get one of these words, you can just look at the numbers right there, and then boom, you're all set. Also, if you try to stop the number, you're going to shoot the bottom right of the red dot, and that's going to stop the number. If you shoot the wrong number, then you're going to have to restart by ending the round, and then you're going to have to redo it the next round. You're going to get a different word if you do fail, so keep that in mind. But once you shoot all 6 monitors and the correct numbers to spell your word, your rocket's going to take off, and you're done with this step. Now, for the next step of the Easter egg, you're going to have to go back to Ashwood and get onto the truck to stop the clock once again. But you can't do this step until there's lightning striking at the diner. If you see lightning striking towards at the diner, then you're ready for this step. The lightning will strike every other round on an even round, so just keep that in mind. Also, the next step of the Easter egg, you're going to need melee macchiato to complete the next step. If you don't know what that's at, it's inside the lake house. Now, if you're playing with solo, you're going to have to do this step twice, but if you're playing with 4 players, you can actually get this step done in one go. You just got to be really quick about it. So what you're going to do if you're playing solo, you're going to line up your testing like you're going to the diner, and you're going to turn around and you're going to shoot the clock to stop it. You're going to quickly run, and you're going to shoot the clock with your water weapon and then turn purple like we said earlier, and then you're going to go quickly get into the truck, and you're going to quickly drive to the diner. Once you arrive at the diner, you're going to line up your truck right in front of the red crate that's behind the semi truck, and then you're going to shoot the clock that's on top of the gas station, and then you're going to ram it with your truck. Once you ram it open, it's going to open up the back door, and then the trucker that's going to spawn into your left side is going to wake up. And then you're going to quickly lead the trucker on top of the gas station pumps, and then you're going to get him stuck in the lightning. Once you get him in the lightning, go ahead and drop off to your right side and go inside the gas station. Over here to the left side, you're going to call in KLAUS. Once you do this, you're going to quickly run inside the diner, and you're going to melee the cash register with melee macchiato, and then that's going to make the diner girl come alive. You're going to quickly get on top of the diner, and you're going to lead her to that lightning. Now, if you still have enough time when you're on solo, you're going to quickly have KLAUS come over to this car, and you're going to have him stomp on the ground. Once he stomps on the ground, the zombie's going to come alive. If you ran out of time, that's okay. You got 2 souls done at least, and if you didn't get any souls done, that's okay. You could try the next round, because now all the zombies are going to be awake once you get near them. Just keep in mind, while you're at Ashwood and there's no zombies spawning in, they're probably the ones at the diner that you just revived, and you have to go take them out to make the round end, because you can only do the clock step 1 per round. Just keep that in mind as well. But if you didn't get all the souls, then you're gonna have to wait till another lightning strikes at the diner and rinse and repeat the steps. But the second time around, you don't have to use the truck. You can go ahead and shoot the clock, hit your ability, turn purple, and then go back to the diner, and then wake up the last zombie and take him to his corresponding lightning. The mechanic zombie goes above the gas station, the trucker goes above the gas pumps, and then the diner zombie goes above on top of the diner. Once you get all 3 of them in the lightning, eventually all the souls will get sucked up, and you're ready for the next step of the Easter egg. Now go back to Ashwood, and you're gonna go turn purple, and then you're gonna go to the farm. Once you arrive at the farm, go to the house, and then inside the house on the bottom floor, you're gonna find a clock over here. Look at where the clock is facing on the hour hand. On the floor surrounding the table, you're gonna find 3, 6, and 12, and 9 hour hands. You're gonna stand on one of those, and you're gonna keep on staring at the zombie father at the head of the table. He's gonna slowly turn his head towards you, and once his eyes turn red, that's when you want to shoot him with the wonder weapon with the purple spike. Once you do this, we're gonna have to go pick up 4 artifacts around the surrounding area now. The first one's gonna be located on the second floor on the bunk bed on the bottom bed. Right here, it's gonna be a teddy bear. The second one's gonna be located inside the barn. Go up the stairs to the left side. It's gonna be located on the right side of the hay barrel. Right here, it's gonna be a Jason mask. The third item is gonna be located in the basement, and it's gonna be this chaliceman on top of this little table shelf right here. The fourth and final item is gonna be located in the little shack, and it's gonna be a razor blade on the ground right here. Now, in front of the yard, for the house, you're gonna find 4 of these locations where you can place these artifacts down. The one they place down very last is gonna be the one that starts this lockdown. So once you place the final one, go ahead and interact with the final one that you placed down, and then you're gonna be in a lockdown. You're gonna have to protect all 4 talismans by yourself, and once you get done with that lockdown, you are ready for the next step of the Easter egg. I would like to say, if you're in a later round and you're trying to do this lockdown, it's a little tricky if you're playing solo. Try to use monkey bombs and use the trap to your advantage, or use a mutant injection or score streaks. It's a little difficult being solo, but you can probably get it done. I didn't really have too much of a struggle. I did fail it one time, but if you fail it, you just go through another round, and then you can start it back up. Just interact with the talisman that broke, and you gotta refill it back up with souls. But like I said earlier, once you're done with the lockdown, you're completely done with the farm. Now go to Ashwood and go ahead and go turn purple and go to the lake. Once you arrive at the lake, go to the docks and interact with the soul. Once you interact with the soul, go to the projector room and shoot the projector. Now the screen is going to flash 4 different locations. You're going to need to jot down those areas. Just memorize them and we'll jot them down. Once you jot them down, I'm going to show you where all 4 of these real spawns are. And what you're going to do is you're literally going to go up to it and you're going to shoot it with the wonder weapon. Do not reload or anything. Just shoot it with the wonder weapon. As long as the real turns purple, you're shooting the right order. For me, I'm going to shoot the stairs first. It's going to be the back side of the stairs and it's going to be located right here in this corner. The second one I'm going to shoot is going to be located in the shack and I'm going to go through the window, turn to right, and it's going to be located on the shelf. The third location is going to be located inside the boathouse and it's going to be located in the roof. That is the third location. The fourth location is going to be located inside the house, going up the stairs to the left side right here. Once you shoot the final and fourth reel, you're going to go upstairs once again to the right side of Spicola in front of the bed. You're going to interact with this box. Once you interact with the box, go ahead and go outside through the back side and you're going to spawn in KLAUS. Once you spawn in KLAUS, go ahead and go to the second floor once again and take him to in front of the box. Once you get him in front of the box, you're going to grab the object that's in front of the box and then he's going to go to the pier. Congratulations, you are ready for the boss fight. Go ahead and get geared up and get ready for to go. I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably the hardest boss fight that I've been in for a longest time, and I honestly only been able to complete it so far with 4 players, so I wish you luck if you're doing a single player right now. Now, before you interact with KLAUS, you guys are going to want to get the car set up right here in front of the lake house. Once you get the truck in front of the lake house, you're going to go ahead and interact with the KLAUS to start the boss fight. If you're solo, you don't have to confirm anything. You're just going to quickly run to the truck, and you guys are going to wait. Wait about 15 to 20 seconds for this wisp to spawn in. If you see this wisp over here, go ahead and drive and run it over. You're going to have to collect 2 more in this fog area, and the second one is going to be located down the hill to the left side, and the third one's going to be located immediately to your right there. And then go through spawn. Then you're going to have to collect another 3 at this fog area. The first wisp is going to be located down the hill a little bit to the left. The second one's going to be located a little further to the left, and the third and final one's going to be located at the very end of the fog lane right there. And then you're going to have to go ahead and pass the farm. Once you get past the farm, you're going to turn right up the boat, and then you're going to collect these 3 souls as well. Just remember, as you're going up this hill, it's going to be an immediate right to the next soul, so make sure you collect it and then collect the next one that's right in front of it. And then you're going to drop down into Ashwood. You're going to immediately turn to your right, go up the hill, and collect the last 3. The first one's going to be located up the hill to the left, and then the next one's going to be straight forward, and then the third and final one's going to be a little bit to the right. Once you collect the last 3 souls, you're going to be teleported into the boss fight. Now, while you're collecting these souls, if you collect the souls in the wrong order, you're going to hear a clock bell, similar to the one that's in Ashwood. If this happens, you're going to have to set up the car once again, and you're going to have to interact with the KLAUS to redo this step. And yes, every time you fail this, you have to go to the next round to try to do it again. So please just go slow and collect the souls one at a time. Now, as soon as you spawn to the boss fight, everybody's going to be inside the car. I highly recommend everybody leave the car besides the driver, and you're going to want to go ahead and ram the boss. By ramming into his head, you're going to break his shield, and then people can hit him for critical spots. Everybody in this boss fight needs to stay away from each other, because if you see these red circles on the ground, try to avoid them as much as possible, because they will 3-shot you down if you're playing with 4 players. You take a little less hits when you're playing single player, but it still does a tremendous amount of damage. Just try to avoid them as much as possible. It's quite hard because they predict which way you're going. What I've noticed is whichever direction you are looking towards, that's where the red circles are going to spawn. So sometimes I try to trick the AI and look towards a direction I'm not going to try to get it to spawn that way. But sometimes when they're surrounding the complete area, you're going to have the time when they're going to hit the ground when the next one's not going to hit the ground to try to avoid getting hit by them. Now, I highly recommend if you're playing with multiple players, have one player be a designated driver that is constantly ramming into the boss. It does tremendous amount of damage and you're trying to break his shield as well. Also, I highly recommend if you're playing solo, if the car ever breaks down, don't ever try to repair it. Just let it self-heal on its own and try to run around and stay alive. You're most likely going to go down if you're trying to do that by yourself. And once the boss loses about 15% of his health, what he's going to do is turn into a Beyblade, and what you got to do is ram into him with the truck, and then he's going to spawn a blue orb on the ground. You're going to have to run that over with the blue truck and ram him to break his shield. You're going to have to do this enough time where he's going to float in the air, and then that's when you want to do damage to him when he's yellow. Once you do enough damage to the yellow spot in him, he'll eventually move on to the next cycle of the boss fight. By the time that cycle happens, it's going to be around half HP. Basically, he just gets more aggressive around half HP, and his attack speed is increased. Now, once you get past half and he's down about a quarter, that's when he gets the another ability, which is the lightning strike. He'll choose one of the players, or he'll choose you, and he'll shoot a lightning beam at you. This does tremendous amount of damage, and I highly recommend hiding behind a pillar if you possibly can. Now, during this phase as well, bears will spawn in, so keep an eye out for that as well. But I highly recommend if you keep on downing and you have a ray gun in your hand, try to take out the zombies to get more plates on the ground for your teammates, and try to focus on the bears as well to help your teammates not have to deal with them as well. But once you get them down around a quarter HP, it's all about just staying alive and just finishing off the health bar. But once you take him out, you guys have completed the Easter egg for the Ashes of the Dam. I hope you guys enjoy the Easter egg. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for my other Easter egg guys coming soon for BO7 when the next DLC drops. And another thing too, I would like to say is that thank you for watching my guide over anybody else's guide. Really appreciate that. I put a lot of time and effort in my guide. I've restarted this Easter egg multiple times to make sure I had all the accurate information for you guys like I always do. Thank you for the long support. I love you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.